Ladies and gentlemen, you are in the Music Workshop every Sunday from 5 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Right now, we're with one of the guests that we have here from Ready to Rock, DJ Charlie Chaz D.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Fast Steady, and you're listening to my man DJ Chaz D throwing down, killing you softly.
I was born in a system that doesn't give a fuck about you, nor me, nor the lie. That doesn't give a fuck about you, nor me, nor the lie.
This is El Nino from the south side of Chicago, and you're in the mix with Ready to Rock Radio.
DJ Chaz D. Drop that shit on the ones and twos. Dangerous, baby.
How it started, my dreams all broken hearted. I want you, baby. We'll never be the same. 'Cause you play those big games and I want you, girl. They say we were an item. My heart's high, try and hide them. I need you. But when we get down to it, I just love the way you do it, and I love you.
And your house is mine. Face it, accept it, don't step out of line.
Dangerous, baby.
My house is your house, and my house is your house, and my house is your house, and your house is mine. My house is your house, and my house is your house, and my house is your house, and your house is mine. My house is your house, and my house is your house, and my house is your house, and your house is mine. My house is your house, and my house is your house, and my house is your house, and your house is mine. My house is your house, and my house is your house, and my house is your house, and your house is mine. My house is your house, and my house is your house, and my house is yours, and your house.
dangerous, baby.
Jack it up out there. Jack it up out there.
A little higher, until you get tired. A little higher, until you get tired. A little higher, until you get tired. A little higher. I'll house you. I'll house you. 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 House you. I'll house you.
Don't ride the white horse. If you wanna ride, don't ride the white horse. If you wanna ride. White horse. Don't ride the white horse. White horse. Don't ride the white horse. I said
Jamming to the sounds of the legendary Chicago Supreme DJ team member, Charlie Chaz D.
I love you, 1,000 times I love you. Oh, I couldn't live my life without you. Oh, Romeo, I love you. I'll wait until tomorrow. Calling is such big sorrow. Oh, Romeo, I love you. I couldn't live my life without you.
Drop that shit on the ones or twos.
is how it started.
Hey, I really damn.
Like this.
It's house.
Jack your body.
is El Nino from the south side of Chicago, and you're in the mix with Ready to Rock Radio.
Get busy, now hear me. Do your funky dance and get busy. Do it right now, not later. If you wait too long, you might later. I'm the rapper, you are the dancer. Clap your hands, move your feet faster to my new style. Cause I'm getting wild, coming straight from the north side downtown. Start to scream, wave your hands on the road, so get down with the MC Izzo. You don't own me, so don't hold me. I like to pump the crowd, cause they adore me. So get with this, it's on the hit list. Jump in the crowd and get with this. And don't miss it, cause it's fresh. And it won't be long before you sing this. Get loose, y'all. I get the juice, y'all. It's like that, y'all. On the high tip, but the right tip. Yes, no, I'm never on a bite tip. I get active, and that's a factor. Mr. Lee, the reactor, the contractor. I last stronger, will not rock the spot. I get stronger. So just listen, I'm not dissing. I just came to have fun and mention that I'm here to move you, to make you dance and groove you. In my decision, in my intentions, hip house is my invention. So come on and clap your hands and get down to my sound, and let's do this. Get busy one time. Get busy one time. Get busy one time. I'm the L-double-E. 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 1, 2, 3, get looser. 'Cause I know by now you're getting looser. Feel the beat and get higher, like the temperature of a fire. A funky rap is the booster, like a rocket ship on the Jupiter. I'm going to keep your body in step, so sing along with my two-step. 1, 2, well, come on now. 1, 2, 3, get loose now. 1, 2, well, come on. 1, 2, 3, get loose now. 1, 2, yo. 1, 2, 3, get loose now. 1, 2, well, come on now. 1, 2, 3, get loose now. Get busy one time. Get busy one time. Get busy one time. The hip to the hip, hip hopper, you don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat. Now what you hear is not a test, I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say hello. Up to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, I gotta bang bang the boogie to the boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop, rock the rhythm that'll make your body rock.
Man, you're here with Charlie Chaz D and myself, DJ Money. Charlie Chaz D from Ready to Rock. Charlie, what's happening, my brother? Glad to have you in my side of town now.
Yeah, glad to finally make it out here.
Yeah, how was it? Did you how's your experience here? Was it? I mean,
It's nice. I mean, you guys got a nice setup, and it's nice the way you provide drink and food for everybody. You know, it's really laid back.
yeah, we try. It's kind of like a little social DJ hangout that we got going on the weekends. I got the entire whole apartment sacrificed just for this to have fun, and you know, have a few drinks every now and then, play the music, expose different talent. Again, there's a lot of people out there that keep beating me up about coming out on the show. I swear I'm not avoiding anybody. It's just that we've only got maybe 4 Sundays out of the month. Sometimes it's less than that. And the fact that we got the Sundays, yeah, it's what the ways can be in a clown. The fact that we got those 4 Sundays with 4 hours plus our own 8 DJs in Chicago, 1 out of town, we want to make room for everybody to spin. And we try to give a great show for our audience, for our listeners out there overseas. So, you know, Charlie, it was a pleasure having you aboard on here in the music workshop every Sunday. Let's get into Charlie now. Let's dig into that. Let's bring it out for the audience. How long have you been mixing in the game? Because everybody's got their years and their dates, and they kind of track back to the Hot Mix 5. What about Charlie Chaz D?
I don't know. That's a long time, you know. Started probably when I was about 12, 13 years old, and that's over 30 years now. And you know, it's been a long journey. And then even, you know, for a while when the way life goes, you know, you get married, raise kids, and then other things take priority, you know, and you end up having to step aside for a little bit. So I was out of the game for a long time.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Yeah, I can see where that relates.
Yeah.
You know?
You know.
Do you remember what was your first record?
Oof. There's a few of them that come to mind. I mean, music by D-Train, Columbus Circle, Magic Wand, you know. Those are a few of the cuts that, you know, kind of crossovers from some of the disco, some of the early hip-hop, you know, that made it into the dance scene. You know, when we were first DJing, you know, there were a lot of cuts they came out on vinyl, whether it was cuts by Sylvester, Kathmandu, Disco Circus, you know, some of the early ones that were being played in the clubs, you know. And even then, you guys got it so easy now. Everything is available online. You know, you copy a file from somebody, and it's a whole new way of buying music, you know, and getting up to date. Where back in the day, you really had to go to check out the DJs who were playing at these different clubs in order to see what it was they were playing and what was moving the crowd, you know.
The Super Transfer, Charlie, the Super Transfer. On Sundays, we grabbed the Super Transfer and we had a ride. We were everywhere buying records. You know, if you were fortunate enough, come home with 5, 6 new records and you're excited.
Yeah, saving your lunch money from school, basically.
And then how do we open them? The jeans?
On the jeans,
you know?
boy.
Make sure you don't rip the plastic. I used to get mad. My boys open the records the wrong way and break my plastic. I was too picky with my crates. Don't touch my records.
You know, everybody blends different, you know, and there are guys who are like this with their vinyl. They had the cleaners and everything, and the vinyl's as clean as a mirror. And then you got other guys that quick mix and they stack them, you know, and I mean, and that just...
Yeah, man.
I mean, you get your program like Tony Medea, you know, you fly through your programs, but you beat the hell out of your records, you know.
Yeah, you end up flying them grooves and everything, and they sound a little bit shitty throughout the years.
You know.
But I mean, that's what it was about when we were young, man. I miss them days.
No,
Who are your influences to pursue the whole craft?
Early on, Tony Mandaka. And then even Greg Vargas was back around those days, and Felix Carranza. Julian was coming up at that time. I remember the early Hot Mix 5 battle where Julian got in. You know, Steve So Curly was in the battle. Tony Boom Boom Bidet was in the battle. Julian was in the battle. I mean, those are some of the guys who were, you know, killing it on their sides of town.
Tony's always been one of my great influences. I mentioned I've seen him mix at our 8th grade luncheon. And house music was just devouring our minds with SL22s from Techniques. Never really 1200s or anything major. And I seen that dude with, you know, he was kind of chunky, lift his leg up on the flight case and start to do his tricks and I'm like, oh my God, when I grow up, you know, it's one of my personal influences. Was he a radio influence? No, because, you know, we had our Hot Mix 5 for that.
Right.
But seeing him live in the neighborhood doing his thing, man, he stirred my heart. I'll tell you that much. you know. So, and he's a great guy. I still have contact with him every now and then.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, he's a really good DJ.
Yeah. What do you got going on right now? Any residencies or anything?
No. Just doing a few guest shots here and there. Working with my cousin. He's got a few events coming up with Lime at Watchers. And I'm spinning for Babalu's birthday at, was that Fergie and Fonz?
Yeah, me and you're going to be there. We're going to be spinning there.
Right. And then, you know, working on a few events ourselves. But, you know, I mean, it's just life. You know, you get busy, really busy at work. And there's other commitments that take precedent, you know. But it's okay. You know, I mean, the scene has so many players involved in it. You know, somebody slows down, somebody else picks up the slack. You know, it seems recently in the last year or so, you got a lot of Northside promoters now coming to the Southside. And some of these events that are being done, a lot of them are being done by Northside promoters, which trips you out because, you know, they're not doing the same thing on the North Side like we're doing on the South Side. So it's obvious, like, even if you would go to the history of the freestyle at the Congress or the Concord in Milwaukee, and when they do let me hear the North Side, South Side, whatever, South Side's always got the biggest following. You know what I mean?
I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, honestly, I go and rent a place out on the North Side, right? Mm-hmm. I promote it a month, 2 months in advance. I won't have the turnout that I'll get in 1 week's promotion that I'll do in one of these local bars in the South Side.
The South Side's always been loyal to the old school.
No,
you know,
I don't think it's that. I just think it's all the old schoolers are getting old up north, and they ain't partying unless it's a cousin's birthday or something.
That's not the same thing.
Here in the South Side,
you got the South Side people the same age, and they're still going out. You know. And you see them post videos online, and even at their kids' birthday parties, I mean, young kids, they're listening to old school in the background. So, you know, for me, having been out of the scene for a long time, and then coming back to Chicago, because I traveled the country doing construction, and when I finally came back to Chicago in the last 5 or 6 years and started doing events again, you know, you walk into these different restaurants and bars, and even at lunchtime, they're playing old school, you know what I mean? And it's just, it blows you away, because that was the music that we had a passion for. You know, we were searching for those records, and we were spinning them at house parties, daytime parties, backyard parties, quinceañeras, what have you. And we loved it, but now that passion, it's embedded, you know what I mean? It's just generational now. And it's nice to see it cross over that way, and that keeps it alive, keeps it going. And then you got all the remixes now that we're spinning, and honest to God, I mean, there's so much new stuff coming out, but nobody wants to hear it on the South Side. Majority of people want you to play the house, the 80s, 90s house, the old school, the classics, and all the things they remember. And that's just what they stick to. You try putting some of that EDM on, you clear the floor.
No, I've seen that happen. Even some of the cool underground stuff you play, you clear the floor. They're not. I mean, I'm digging it, but they're not. They still want to listen to the original tracks, the classics. And,
well, you know, but it's the same thing even on the east side of town, you know, because they grew up. Those people, our generation on that side of town, grew up with the same music we grew up in. So you can go to a club over there, you know, whether it's on Stony Island, King Drive, and they're still bumping the classics we're bumping over here. You know, they play it with some different house cuts that we don't play as much over here, but they jammed to some of the same classics, you know, the Los Niños, the trance dances, and it's just wild watching that music have that much influence all over the city of Chicago. And what kills me though is, you know, we bring these artists from out of town for these freestyle concerts, and freestyle's got a big following, and people pack the house, you know what I mean? But you see how many events they do on the East Coast, in New York, Philly, Jersey. I mean, freestyle is followed with a passion, and they support it. That's where the artists are from. Majority are from the East Coast, but all the house music, a lot of it originated here. A lot of the artists are here. But if you do a mega house event here, it doesn't do the same thing. You know, it depends on where you do it, how you promote it, how you push it, and whether people will go for it or not. And that's sad because, you know, the artists are here. And I don't know how much longer we're going to have these guys out there, you know, still performing. But we need to support, you know, the music that comes from Chicago. You know, that's our bread and water.
There's a lot of music evolving right now from Chicago. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, our guys, man, our DJ buddies. It's a different mindset, dude. You come up with a track, I want a track. I want a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to pay for it.
No.
But I'm willing to go pay someone somewhere else that came out with a track. But I won't pay for your track because what? I mean, think about it. How am I supporting you being in the Chicago field?
I don't know how that's ever going to change because everybody's copying files and sharing files and copying drives and selling music online on Craigslist, what have you. So it's once that thing goes digital, that's it. You lost control of it, and it's being traded everywhere. It's being played in all these clubs by all these DJs, and nobody's paying for it. Everybody's just, you know, copying it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you really can't say that you're going to do that to make a living You're gonna do it because you have a passion for it. You know, you love the music.
That's it. That's it. If you get lucky and your track goes mainstream, you got lucky. You might cash out. But other than that, dude, don't pursue this because of riches and dreams of getting rich with it.
No.
It's not gonna happen, dude. You do this because you love it and you make it happen.
Right.
You know, what's in the plans for Charlie Chaz D? Anything new? Anything exciting besides that line party you're promoting?
We're talking with a few different performers that we want to bring to Chicago that haven't been here. You know, we want to break the scene and not continue to bring some of the same people over and over and over again. So we're really looking at bringing people who haven't been here yet. So trying to put something together really for sure for Saturday, December 10th. That's going to be for that's my birthday for one. But we've got a venue already we're working with, and we're working with a couple artists. So as long as we can get the dates lined up, and it sounds like we're going to be able to do it, then we're going to bring them here. And that's what I want to see. I want to see people we haven't seen before. Not knocking the people that we've seen already, because they're still good. But maybe you can combine some of our locals with some of these out-of-state people and put on a nice show for everybody.
Yeah,
You know?
a lot of these people want to see fresh stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's good to see some of these guys that are performing on an average weekly basis, but every now and then people just want to see something a little different. That's all. Not that you're lower in any standard.
No.
So
But
cool.
But you know, we try to keep the market fair. You know what I mean? You only want to charge. You know what? You know you're gonna make money, but
Well, that's true.
Not,
I mean,
not rate the
you know,
people,
if you were to give them everybody they wanted to see, the pocket would hurt them. And that's what a lot of times they don't understand, because you got to pay these guys to come out here and play. You know, you don't pick up Stevie B and expect to it be cheap. You're gonna pay the ticket at the door because it costs money for him to be there.
Right.
So, and that goes for a lot of these artists that you haven't heard of.
Right.
You know, they're not gonna come out here to Chicago and do it for peanuts.
Right.
So,
And then
somehow.
you roll the dice on any of these events.
Oh yeah,
regardless,
because you could lose. You could
Right.
easily lose, and you still have to pay the artist.
Right. You take on all that overhead and all that risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hope that you're not bombarded with 10 events on the same day and people trying to cut your throat. You know. So I mean, it's a tough market.
Yeah. And what's the deal with Ready to Rock? How's that coming along? So far, what's your deal with Ready to Rock?
We're coming back together. We got a new group of guys. I've got Wesley the Whiz Kid with us. 90s with us. He's busy though, always doing his sound and lighting. And I'm always doing things in conjunction with my cousin. So, and then we got John Hernandez with us as well. You know, these guys. Some of these guys are busy already with their residencies and what have you. I'm not looking to do a residency. I really stick to just doing a few guest spots at some of these concerts, and for the most part promoting your own events. You know what I mean? Because there's a million DJs out there really, and you don't have to fight to be at every single event. You know, there's enough out there for everybody really.
Right.
But we have more control when we put the events together ourselves, and even when we do the events ourselves, I still don't spin. We'll sit back and let everybody else get spotlight, and we basically make sure that people have a good time. You know, try to have a nice time for everybody.
That's what's up. That's what's up, ladies and gentlemen. You know.
Who knows? Maybe we get something going with global music. Do an event with you guys.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Get the global music DJs on board and go out there and support and do what we do best, man. And try to work and network with everybody out there that wants to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But ladies and gentlemen, Charlie, any shout outs out there you want to give out?
My boys in Arizona, Giovanni and Anthony. My boy in Indiana, Sebastian. And got lots of family in Chicago. Just found out this past week we've got a couple more nephews on the way. So it's always a blessing to see the family growing. And,
Congratulations.
My brother got married this past week as well. So it's just like, every time you turn around, I come from a big family, So there's always something going on. But it's cool. It's cool. It's nice.
Yeah, that's the best thing in life is growth. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Charlie Chaz D from Ready to Rock here on the Music Workshop with the Global Music DJs. Charlie, thank you very much for coming out here. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say this in Charlie's set, but hey, see this right here? That's right, go Cubs go. This is our year. This is our year. Let me find out.